It is indeed the first time we've moved outside of Geneva. So we have a Geneva summer school in Nairobi. So it was really showcasing that as you move closer to the field, there is actually considerable capacity, and that partnerships that we had developed over the years really allowed us to bring to the fore the extraordinary opportunities that higher education would have in this region.
Having to work with people in a simulation setting of very different actors and stakeholders, and having to come to some kind of agreement was incredibly challenging, but also really fruitful.
It has been a very enriching and a humbling experience at the same time. There was such a richness and wealth of experiences to be shared by different partners.
To us, everyone was a participant on equal footing. We never really out in the open make a big deal about it. But I think for those participants who had the good fortune to interact with refugees, and I think each team had at least one, I think for them it was an eye-opening event. Because I think they realized for the first time just how much expertise resides in those learners, and how their knowledge can really be enhanced and improved upon by interacting closely with those who have the intimate knowledge of what is happening in the field.
And from the University of Geneva, and actually we are able to run six to 8 courses per semester.
It's a great opportunity, especially now that we were working on case studies related to Kakuma and Kalobeyei settlement. If refugees wouldn't be here, like physically, it wouldn't be very rich. They wouldn't have a rich information. So I think it's something that is good to have them represented here and to have them voice themselves. You know, it's one thing to read something on the internet and another thing to hear from the person himself or herself.
During the last 2 weeks, I met a lot of friends, and I learned a lot about higher education in general around the world, and also how we can practice that in Jordan. I came from a different context a little bit. We are dealing with Syrian refugees, and there is a lot of challenges. And now after the course, I learned a lot how we can bring an alternative solution for the education process and system in Jordan.
We have a lot of Afghan refugees in Pakistan. We have other humanitarian situations developing from time to time. So one angle will be to mainstream this learning into our organizational working. Then at a macro level, how we can scale it up within our organizations and taking this learning and experiences to our different country offices.
Key takeaways? I mean, actually the project we developed, I kind of want to do it. But you know, I learned a lot about legal frameworks, which was one of the things I was very interested in. I would have liked to hear more about that. That's something that's not my background. I think a very valuable part for me was some of the interactions with people who really work in NGOs. I'm an academic by training, so I think I'm going to take a lot back from those conversations, and then also the relationships that I built.
Now I'm very sure that I'm in the right place, and I'm going to use the skills that I gained through this 2 weeks in summer school here in Nairobi, and I'll be able to share it to my fellow colleagues, and also to give back to the community so that they can get also and to understand what is higher education, especially in crisis or emergency areas.